It is Friday, July 25th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Get you all set for another baseball weekend, the last one before the Major League Baseball trade deadline, which is already off and running. We'll get to that in a bit. I don't know if I want to call this a tip of the cap, but I just had to mention this. I saw a clip out there from the Tigers game. Had you ever seen a black squirrel before? I sent you this clip.
No. I've never seen a black squirrel. Is that a species of squirrel, or is this kind of like a one-off?
So intern Sawyer went to school at Syracuse and said they're all over the place there.
Geez. It's an East Coast thing then, huh?
East Coast, Midwest. But I grew up in the Midwest, and I don't ever remember seeing a black squirrel, which at first I looked at it, I was like, is that a cat? But no, it's a full-blown squirrel.
I guess it makes sense that there's a bunch of different color squirrels, they're just adapting to their environment. I think that's what that would come from.
Sure. I'm curious, people can help us out in the comments. Are they called something specific? Do they live in a certain part of the country?
I see dead squirrels all the time, dude.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, because there's so many coyotes in this neighborhood, man.
Oh, yeah. That would do it.
Yeah. Sad. Because squirrels are so cute.
They are. They're adorable. But the problem is they have the worst sense of direction. They'll jump into the street and then stop instead of keep going. I'm like, dude, make up your mind.
I like the ones that get out there and then they run back the other way. Like they know, like this is probably not a good idea.
Yeah. That's smart. All right. I mentioned first trade. It is done. Courtesy of the Seattle Mariners, whose hot hat I am adorning today. They get their corner infielder. It's not Eugenio Suarez yet, but it is now his former Arizona Diamondbacks teammate, first baseman Josh Naylor. D-backs get a pair of pitchers that were ranked in about, depending on what you believe with the minor league prospect rankings, top 16, top 19, but they're not high-end guys. Neither of them were top 10. The question is, does this give Seattle a deep enough lineup to now be a serious contender in the American League?
So depending on the time of the year, they already kind of had a deep enough lineup to be a serious contender. It's all about like, can we get the guys firing all together at the same time? Like that's kind of the biggest issue here. The stats overall for the Mariners, really good offensively, better than they've been in quite some time. But a lot of that's buoyed by a huge April by Jorge Polanco, a massive start to the year by Cal Raleigh. But, if you're just looking like you can envision Julio being the best version of himself. Randy's had a really, really nice year there. JP's slug isn't there, but the on base percentage is. So, like, you can kind of go up and down the lineup. Canzone's been really good for them. Raley at times as well. So there's a lot to like about this Mariners team. I think this helps immensely. It truly, truly does. Like, I don't think the homer numbers are down a little bit for Naylor, but I don't think that means like he can't go on a crazy run here and carry a team, especially like during a playoff series. Like, I can imagine Josh Naylor hitting 4 homers in a playoff series. So, I think this is power is what they've needed, and Josh Naylor can provide that. And I like him at first base there. I think it's going to change some things in their lineup a little bit. But I also think this marks just the beginning for the Mariners. I don't think you just make this trade. I think you're definitely trying to make other trades. I know they're still linked to Eugenio, if that comes to fruition or not. I think third base is still there's plenty of guys out there that you can go get to play third base. So I think if they miss on Suarez, they might even go get somebody else as well.
Yeah, well, I'll start off with Naylor. It's amazing how much adding one guy, I think, can change the look of your lineup. I was talking to somebody, and I forgot who it was recently, and they said Cleveland's lineup is so different without Josh Naylor in it. Said just one guy has made an enormous difference and left a huge vacancy. So now you can add it. Now, he's not going to have the 30 home run season that he did last year in Cleveland, but his strikeout numbers are great in baseball. Great. He's over an 800 OPS, so even if he doesn't have the gargantuan home run numbers, he's still mashing the ball. Good for him. I think it's going to be a great spot because now you've got JP hitting leadoff, Julio, who, by the way, last night became the first player in Major League history to have 4 straight seasons to start a career of 15 homers and 20 steals, which is remarkable. Cal Raleigh, and then depending if you have facing a righty or lefty on a day, Randy, and then Naylor. That's a good top 5. And if you can just get 2 of the bottom 4 guys going at the same time, all of a sudden this is a pretty solid lineup. And in a year where there's not a great team in the American League, man, I think the Mariners are primed and ready if they do add one more piece.
Yeah,
Does it have to be Suarez?
That's the team to go.
Does it have to be Suarez?
I'm just trying to think where they could fit guys in. I mean, second base they could go get as well, I guess. So yeah, it just needs to be. I think it's offense.
Yeah,
offense first, and we'll figure out where to put you. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you would presume that one of the guys that's up here right now, Canzone maybe goes.
Oh, you think he gets traded?
Well, I think it all depends on. It all depends, wouldn't it? Didn't Canzone come over in the Suarez deal?
I'm gonna go look right now. He's 858 OPS on the year.
I know.
He came over. Yes, no, it was Paul Sewald.
Oh, it was a Sewald deal.
Yeah,
those two teams do so much business.
Yeah, they do a lot of business together.
Yeah, you forget who does what. They've got a lot. Listen, they've got serviceable major leaguers, right? Dylan Moore, Mitch Garver, Raley, Canzone, Williamson hasn't been great.
Is there a second baseman out there that can?
Oh, you want to replace your boy?
Well, Cole Young's a nice player, but offensively, I think you can find an upgrade. I mean, look, and maybe you just need an infielder. You can put him at third base or second base. I don't know. Like they're going to have to move parts around. They're already doing that for Naylor.
Yeah. It's all good question. So now it gets us to the Arizona side of this quickly. Do you think this opens the floodgates for them?
It's interesting. I think it does, Chris. I mean, they have so many pieces to trade. I think this signals they're going to do it. But can you just trade away everybody? Then what do you do for the rest of the year? Like I'm like, are you gonna if they trade away Merrill Kelly, are they gonna trade Zach Gallen as well? If they trade away Zach Gallen, they're gonna trade Merrill Kelly as well. Do you think everybody goes?
I think Merrill Kelly definitely goes. I think he's one of the premier starting pitchers that is available. That we know.
You also trade Zach Gallen, or you just keep him and offer him the qualifying offer.
Well, I think if you offer Zach Gallen the qualifying offer, you have to be willing to pay him the $20+ million next year. I think.
Oh, you think there's a chance he takes it? I don't.
To reestablish his value, you don't?
I think there's still going to be teams willing to pay him 3+ years at a decent rate.
All right, well.
Maybe more.
Let's just start from this standpoint, just so everybody knows. Arizona's currently 5 out of the wild card, and there's a bunch of teams ahead of them. Let's see, San Francisco, the Reds, the Cardinals are all ahead of them without holding a playoff spot at this point. We said that if Arizona came out hot out of the gate the second half, maybe it changes things. They just got blown up at home by Houston, and now they're in Pittsburgh this weekend. The beginning of the week, I said I think they're nuts if they hang on to Eugenio Suarez, and I'm going to double down here. Now that they've started with Naylor, I would say, if I were Mike Hazen, I would put it for sale sign and say everything must go. I just would. And I would hope that some of the guys we get back, I understand keeping Suarez and at the very least offering him a qualifying offer, but
I don't understand that at all. I think there's too many prominent teams that need a third baseman. I think he has
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I wouldn't be in favor of it. I mean, I hear the discussion, but I'm not in favor of it.
In favor of what?
Of holding on to him.
Oh, I wouldn't hold on to him. Yeah, no way. But there's no reason for them to hold on to him. What would the reason be? Just a qualifying offer?
I guess that's what some people were saying in the comments on Monday when I vehemently opposed.
Well, that's because people say he's a rental and you're not going to get the prospects that you want. I think it depends on the year and the teams that are going.
Yeah.
That need a third baseman and how desperate they are.
Right. I think you could make an argument for 4 or 5 teams that need his services in a year where we don't feel like there are great teams.
Phillies, Yankees. Cubs were like, are we going to do the Matt Shaw thing right now?
He's had a nice week.
I think they're still in play as well.
I think so too. I think the Tigers,
Mariners.
I mean, we just mentioned 5 right there, and there might be a sneaky team. What heck? There was the report yesterday about the Reds.
Yeah, the Reds. Yeah.
So all these teams. Let us know how you think this all plays out. Give us a number of who or names of who goes from Arizona, who gets traded before the July 31st trade deadline. That's what we got to get to. Now let's get to. I know you hate the rumors, but to me, it's kind of fun. So as long as we credit people, here we go. Noah Hiles of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette says the Yankees inquired about Oneil Cruz. There's also a rumor out there that the Phillies are calling Ben Cherington about the Pirates center fielder. Does this sound at all reasonable?
No. And trading a guy like that with that much control left, you don't do it unless like his value is sky high and he's going off, which Oneil Cruz isn't really this year. Kind of a pedestrian year, in my opinion, for him. And yeah, and in the offseason, sure, I'll entertain that. And maybe something comes to fruition. Unless they get completely overwhelmed by something, I don't think that makes any sense for them to trade Oneil Cruz right now. Unless there's stuff behind the scenes, maybe they're a riff. Like there's always those things. Like, is there a riff between him and front office or him and some teammates or whatever it is? I've never heard that. But like that could be the case. But it doesn't make any sense for me right now for them to trade Oneil Cruz. Like there's no real logical reason for them to do that unless they got overwhelmed. I do think those teams are going to make trades. I think the Phillies are going to. I have Harrison Bader going there. I feel even better about that after what the Twins did over this against the Rockies and the Dodgers. I think he is going to get traded, but Oneil Cruz to me, no, doesn't make sense.
Not only does it not make sense from the Pirates standpoint, it doesn't make sense certainly from the Yankees and possibly from the Phillies. I mean, the Yankees
have the tallest outfield ever assembled. Bellinger, Oneil Cruz, and Aaron Judge might be seriously the tallest outfield ever assembled. Because Bellinger's what? He's 6'4", isn't he?
Great. Let's run 5s. Awesome. Let's run hoop. Let's go. Let's go 94 feet. I'm in favor of it. Can I just tell you about Oneil Cruz? He's fun to watch in the home run derby. That's where I sit on Oneil Cruz as a baseball player. He wasn't good at shortstop. He's been worse in center field. Don Kelly had to sit him down recently because he didn't run a play out, and apparently that's been a little bit of an issue. But, I mean, that happens with some really good players. We talked about it happening with Ronald Acuna very early in his career, and now we just highlighted what an amazing play he made when he scored from first on a ball that trickled into just past the infield. So things can change. The difference is that Oneil Cruz is almost 27 years old, I think. So he's a little older. Ronald Acuna, when he was making his mistakes, was like 21.
How old is Ronald Acuna right now? Is he 27?
I think so. But Oneil Cruz has not had a season where he's had higher than like a 2.3 WAR, something like that. And he's played 2 premier positions where if you're at least decent, you're going to add WAR as a shortstop and a center fielder. And he's just okay. The beginning of the year, I said something about, it was maybe a year and a half ago, we were wondering which Cruz in the NL Central do you want to build your team around, Elly De La Cruz or Oneil Cruz? And I said at the beginning of the year, it's not even close. And I got a lot of pushback on that. Well, I'm going to stand at the top of the mountain and beat my chest because once again, Elly is twice the ball player that Oneil Cruz is.
I remember that question, and my take was it's possible that Oneil Cruz has a better season this year, but overall, you have to take Elly De La Cruz.
And it still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at his numbers and say, what is he, 33 for 37 in steals? I mean, that's almost a 90% clip. That's great. No question. But there's just not enough to make me want to give up good pieces. I think I'm not against giving up prospects. I just want to really make sure that I am 100% in. Now, is there also the possibility that Oneil Cruz goes to a place like Philadelphia and is around players that can get him straight. And New York with Aaron Judge, who knows? But he's around a pretty damn good one in Andrew McCutchen, and it hasn't worked out yet.
The strikeout percentage has to come down. Even though the walk percentage is up, it's at 12.5 right now. You can't strike out a 30% clip and be successful. I mean, very few people can do that.
Yeah.
You better be hitting some tanks consistently.
I mean, obviously, it also depends what is the return on this. He's got 3 years of control left after this season. So the Pirates wouldn't ship him out unless they were getting something decent. I don't know. Phillies fans, Yankees fans, I want to hear from you. Pirates fans, what do you think of it? You watch Oneil Cruz play every inning of every game. I'd love to hear what you think about it. All right, thanks to Mountain Dew for sponsoring today's episode of Baseball Today. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew, it's perfect for any occasion. Whether it's beach days, boat days, out on the golf course, going to the ballpark, or just about anything in between, like going to the warehouse, which we're going to be doing in a couple of weeks here for Floorball 3. I know that people love that. It gets them going. It makes them feel great, particularly when it's steamy outside. Dalton Feely, the reason he loves the warehouse games is because there's so much Mountain Dew. So once again, whether you're chilling, hanging out on the water, playing golf, going to a ballpark, doing anything this summer, hanging out with friends, the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew, it's the perfect pairing. So that's what you're looking for. Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. All right, let's move on. Light schedule on Thursday. Biggest game of the day happened in Motown. And how about them Toronto Blue Jays? For the first time all season, they wake up sole holders of the best record in the American League. And last night, they were down 1-0 against Reese Olson in the middle innings up there in Detroit, and then they just exploded. And if the Tigers learned one thing, it's that you do not intentionally walk a player to get to Ernie Clement.
Well hit ball to deep left, and he made him pay. Did he ever? Ernie Clement got every bit of it.
And that's the book that's what the book says. If I was managing over there, I'd have done the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I locked in and I had a good approach there and got the job done.
You know what? As we watch the replay and the bat flip that he had last night, I wish in the post-game press conference he had said, yeah, you know what, AJ? Screw you. Even if it was the right move, gotcha. I just wish there was a little more shit talk, that's all.
Well, I mean, it's true. Like, you don't hate the move. You hate what happened afterwards if you're the Tigers. But that was an awesome bat flip. That's just like, that was his FU.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean, without saying it, he said it with the bat flip right there.
And I feel like we've talked about this 3 times in the last several weeks about Toronto, and very rarely do we highlight Vlad, Bo Bichette, although he had a big hit the other night. George Springer's had a great bounce-back season, but it is the Ernie Clements of the world. Loperfido, I think Clement and Loperfido went back-to-back.
A bomb.
Archer has been incredible for them. So, I think they've got something like 7 or 8 dudes, all with at least 200 bats and over a 700 OPS. Like they got guys that have done it this year, man.
Last night, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Ernie Clement, 2 for 4. 4 runs driven in. Loperfido, 2 for 5 with a run driven in. Tyler Heineman goes 1 for 4. Will Wagner, 2 for 5. I mean, you're talking about your bottom of your lineup producing like that. And that's what we've seen. They've had games, yes, where George Springer's carried him. Bichette had some big homers in the previous series against the Yankees. Vlad's kind of, doing his thing. 842 OPS. Not a ton of slug, but he's getting his hits. Addison Barger's been going off, but it has been their ability to turn the lineup over to get production from the bottom of it has been the biggest reason they've done it. Their bullpen, obviously, as well, the way they've performed. But we talk about this all the time. You have to have it going. And typically, it's never everybody at the same time, which it kind of has been here. Like, these guys have been kind of going off. Usually, it's like 1 or 2 guys have the big hit. I used to make fun of your Guardians and Brian Rocchio getting the fucking big hit all the time. which I think he just did, and the Guardians are now surging again. They're like right in it. But yeah, that's the Blue Jays calling card has been the length of their lineup.
All right, before we move on to the Tigers, you mentioned Will Wagner. His dad is going to the Hall of Fame this weekend. Shouldn't the Blue Jays let him go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he not going to go?
I don't know. It just popped in my head, so I don't know.
It's such a feel that he should go. Like it's just call it a scheduled rest day. Give him 2 days to go down there.
Yeah.
Let him do it. It's that special.
Yeah.
It's hard to get there.
Awesome.
Travel kind of sucks, but
hey,
you can make it so it's fine and then help him out.
Pops made a little money. He didn't make today's money, but he played a long time, so you can go spring for a PJ. That's a private jet, everybody.
Yeah. No, he should go.
Yeah, he should.
It would surprise me if he didn't, actually.
Yeah, and once again, I'm speaking out of turn because it just popped in my head. So maybe he is going. I hope he gets to experience that because Dad had to wait a while, and he was a damn good pitcher. I would have put him in earlier, but man, that guy could throw it. I love watching him play. Now we get to the Tigers side. They have dropped 10 of their last 11. They still have a huge lead in the Central, but if you listen to A.J. Hinch, something ain't right here.
Almost all of our guys are having an unproductive at bat at some point, and then they get in the game, and it seems like when one bad thing happens, the dam breaks, and that's what happens over 2 weeks. It's been 11 days. We're back at it again tomorrow, and we can choose to bring that garbage into tomorrow, or we can, reset and get back after it.
He is great in front of a microphone. I will say that.
Someone has to tell him he can't use the word garbage. He can't use that word.
Why?
Garbage cans?
Oh, come on.
What?
I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, well, she needs to remember to not do that.
Well, there's a difference between garbage cans and garbage.
They stink right now.
They do. So I want to know, is it just, do they stink right now? Or at the beginning of the year, you weren't as high on the Tigers as I was? Is this just is it closer to what they are? I'm not talking about a team that constantly loses 10 of 11, but maybe isn't as good as I thought they were at the beginning of the year.
So yes, do I think this is a 100-win team? No, I don't. And they were playing at that pace for quite some time, and they were figuring out ways to win games. Not too dissimilar from the Blue Jays, where they would have guys at the bottom half of their lineup step up. I don't think it was ever at this pace where all of them were kind of doing it at the same time. But that's been the biggest thing for their offense is ice cold, under 3 runs per game in this 11-game stretch that he's talking about, and you're just not going to win ball games like that. So I don't think they're all of a sudden going to crash out of. They have and still have an 8-game lead. In the division. I think that's closer to where they should be than 15.5. Like that was kind of outrageous for them to take that type of lead because I don't think I've said it, and look, they've proved me wrong at points of the season. I don't think they're like roster wise so much better than these other teams. I think they were playing really, really good baseball, finding ways to win. I did give credit to AJ Hinch. I feel like he does get plus matchups maybe more than other managers do, but there's going to be a time, and every team goes through this. Every hitter goes through this. I mean, Kyle Tucker stinks right now. Like there's going to be a time where your offense doesn't show up, and I think I don't think that is what's happening right now with the Tigers.
Yeah, so I sit here and I think, well, what do they need to add to kind of get them out of their own way a little bit? And they still, I just mentioned how the Blue Jays have like 7 or 8 guys that have an OPS over 700. Well, the Tigers have even more in terms of guys that have had at least 200 at-bats this year. I think they've got 8. But right now it's not all in the right direction. I still think that they need to pull the trigger on an Eugenio Suarez type deal. I would move McKinstry back to the super utility role and put him, because there are guys you can sit in that lineup and not feel like, oh, really? We're sitting that guy today? Because when we get to October and pitching staffs sit and circle the guys they do not want to beat them in the playoffs, They're not circling a lot of Detroit Tigers. There just aren't. There's not a ton of pop in that lineup, particularly from the right side. We've talked about that. It's Torkelson and a little bit of Baez and a little bit of but that's kind of it. They don't have a ton of pop. So I think they would do that. And I think they still need to add another major high-velocity arm at the back end of their bullpen.
Torkelson's still hot. I was just looking up his stats right now. He's the one guy like I maybe expected to cool down a little bit. Last 28 days, 931 OPS. Last 7 days, 896 OPS.
And there is one other guy we have to mention. They've been without Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
But Kerry Carpenter is a strict platoon guy. He kills right-handed pitching, and he will be your DH in the playoffs against right-handed pitchers.
Oh, imagine if they faced it off against the Astros. What's he going to do? Just never play?
Not only will he not play, whatever team he faces, if they bring a left-hander in the fifth, they're going to sit him. That is how
the Astros have 3 left-handed starters right now, plus Hader in the back end of their bullpen. That's interesting to think about right now.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's why teams are going to start loading up a little bit on left-handers if they feel like they're going to.
The Tigers now would play in the wild card series.
Mm-hmm.
If it ended today, they play the Red Sox, who
they are fortunate
who have a few left-handers on their team as well.
Yes, they do, and they're very fortunate. The Tigers that they're in a division where no other team is over 500. It's the only of one of the 6 divisions where there isn't at least a second team that's over 500.
You guys got there for one day.
Yeah. And then went back down.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know if it was Sawyer or Dan. Good job. Will Wagner is going to Cooperstown.
Okay. That makes a ton of sense.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Good. Good for him. All right. It is time right now. Let me get this going here. Sorry. Time for our Like a Bosch Player of the Week. Brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Just like Bosch Power Tools, this player got the job done through hard work, grit, and determination. Who is your Bosch Player of the Week?
There's a lot of guys I could have chose, but I don't know how many more times I'm going to get a chance to praise my Minnesota Twins.
Oh, God.
So I'm going with Royce Lewis, who really has stepped it up, and I thought maybe it was just at the right time. 7 for 17 on the week, 2 doubles, 3 homers. Those homers have come in his last 4 games. He had 3 homers in his first 85 games of 2025. So he's really turned it on. He's feeling a lot better, and he had some crazy quotes. He's had like meetings with Rocco saying he was talking about like maybe my injuries affected me more than I thought. Maybe I don't have the same strength or twitch that I used to have, and then all of a sudden he made one adjustment, got ready a little bit earlier, and he's looking great. So he's not going to get traded. Don't even talk about him in trade rumors, okay? But the Twins, as an organization, desperately need this guy to show up, not the guy that we saw at the beginning of the year, because it was pretty bad. It looked bad. He was out of whack, man. Like the legs weren't there, and he did deal with a quad injury. So maybe that was what was going. He feels better now, but he's been going off, Chris. I'm going Royce Lewis.
I'm going to go with a guy who struggled basically until the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that's Willy Adames. He's had a really, really good last week, hitting over 360, 3 bombs, couple of doubles as well. He finally, on Monday, got his season OPS over 700 for the first time all year. First time. I remember talking to him on Dugout Discussions, and it was probably early May, I'm going to say, out in Anaheim, and things just weren't going well offensively nor defensively for him. And I said, how do you remain upbeat Willy Adames every day? And people will probably think, well, shit, Rose, they paid him $182 million. Why isn't he happy? That's not the way it goes, man. Like, when they hit the field, Trevor can tell you this, guys don't think about their paychecks. He wants to earn every bit of that. And he said, I am doing a disservice to the Giants if I'm not the same guy every day. That's part of the reason they paid me, and I need to be there. It will turn around at some point. It's not fun. I can tell you that, Chris. It sucks looking up at the scoreboard and not playing the type of defense I know I can. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for the Giants, who now find themselves, even though they've kind of, waded through some murky waters, just a game out in the wild card chase. So good for him.
I'm like a lot of people where I'm like, yeah. How could you be mad if you're making that much money? I never had a contract like that, so I never got to experience it. But I'll tell you this firsthand, you're totally right. Guys that have big contracts still get super pissed, and a lot of times feel even more pressure to perform and feel worse about it. Now, doesn't mean their life is bad.
No,
but they want to perform. It's why they've made it that far to make that much money, is how competitive they are. One of the reasons.
Now, the cushion comes every other Friday. You guys get paid every other Friday? How do you get paid?
It was every 2 weeks, yeah. I don't know if it was Friday. I think it was Tuesday sometimes.
Were you old enough to get a check?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I think at one point I was clearing like $300,000 a check.
That's insane, isn't it?
I think. Or was that Mauer? I don't know. I don't know if that math works out, but I think I was.
Well, clearing it, if you do that, so that's clearing $600,000 a month.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And that's over 6 months. So yes, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because you only get paid during the season.
Yeah, I was. It was like 330 something.
Isn't that crazy?
Would sure like to see that again, Chris, in my lifetime.
Hey, keep working on baseball today and talking baseball and kicking butt in the warehouse and all sorts of stuff. You'll get back there. You will get back. No, you won't.
No, I will not.
No, you won't. Welcome to our business. So today's episode is sponsored by Bosch. When you pick up a Bosch power tool, it makes you feel empowered and confident and appreciated no matter what job lies ahead. You're going to crush it. As a global leader for power tools, measuring tools, and accessories, Bosch's innovative product solutions, they're built with quality engineering and precision in mind. The assortment of products ensures that you have the right tools in your toolbox to tackle a variety of tasks with ease. Bosch's 18-volt battery platform powers numerous tools, creating a consistent energy home base. It keeps the brand's family of tools running. Like your favorite players on the field, Bosch Power Tools make sure you are powered up, you're ready for anything that's thrown your way, because the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. So head on over to BoschTools.com today to learn more about the power tools you need to get the job done right each and every time. And I can tell you, if you get a job done around the house, like I have a little bit this summer, somebody in particular might be happy with you. That can always lead to special things. Hold on. What? Gregory Soto traded to the Mets. There's the left-hander. Hold on. I think I nailed that one in our trade.
No way.
Yeah. Sawyer, look that up for me.
I'm looking at it right now. Let's get it up.
I'm pretty sure I got 10 points there. Come on. Give it to me.
I can't. I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
I knew that they were going to go for a left-hander, and I'm pretty sure. He's got an ERA of 3.95 this year, 44 Ks in 36 and a third innings, a whip of about 1.3.
We post so much stuff on our social media, I can't even find it.
Well, one of these guys will find it before we get out of here. I'm almost 100% certain I pulled into a tie with Jake.
All right, got it. You ready?
Yep. I think I had Soto going to them. Yeah, nailed it.
Wow, nailed it. You did.
Okay.
It was a 10th overall pick. Gregory Soto to the Mets. You and Jake both nailed. I mean, we're crushing it.
Well, I mean, there's only been 2 trades, but we're 2 for 2.
That's insane.
It's a good start. Let's go. Which one of you of your trades are you most confident in?
I believe Ryan McMahon to the Yankees is a good one.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to get Geno, and I think McMahon fits their needs better anyway, like defensively.
Got it. I love when there's breaking news on our show. That's fun. Yeah, the Mets, they needed a left-hander out of that bullpen. And Soto has been good at times and not good at times. He does have playoff experience. He still can throw it. I saw him the other day. He threw it, and I was like, damn.
Damn.
All right. We mentioned Hall of Fame is this Sunday. Ichiro, CC, Billy Wagner, and, of course, the late, great Dave Parker and Dick Allen. So special Sundays for their families as well. Did you see CeCe's post?
I did. The car broke down on the way to Cooperstown. I feel it's a interesting place to get to. It's very, you're not flying in anywhere around there. So
no,
I like this picture is great because CeCe and all the kids are all smiling. There's Amber putting in all the work in the back on the phone, trying to get somebody there.
Yes, exactly. And by the way, I love it that little C's got his junior T-shirt on. That's good.
Like that too.
I wish him well. We saw CeCe at the party. So at All-Star, it was great. He was ready. He said the speech was good. He was just fine-tuning it. I think he's going to have a great time. Can't wait to hear Ichiro and Billy Wagner as well. I think that's going to be awesome. So did you feel worse for the Sabathias who got left on the side of the road when their car broke down, or Coach Rack from the Savannah Bananas who went on CNN, tried to do his customary flip and landed face first and cut his chin and lip open?
I mean, I don't really feel like this. The Sabathias are fine. I also think this is great for Coach Rack. Now, I feel bad that he had to have stitches. And at first, I thought this was completely a prank. But then I found that he had to have stitches and stuff like that. So he clearly didn't try to do that. But he's going to get so much more press.
So much more.
And much more attention on the Bananas and himself because he messed up. And he did it in a great way. He smiled, and that's kind of like the whole thing. So I don't feel bad for either of them. That's my answer.
Okay, so would you be willing to faceplant a flip but not know the severity of the injuries to your face if it got you as much publicity as he's about?
I don't want any more publicity. I'm not about the publicity game right now, so I don't want any.
You just mentioned that you want the $300,000 checks to clear every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, baby. Come on. My crypto portfolio needs to keep going up. Let's go. I don't want attention to me right now, man. I feel like it's going to go the other way where people are all going to not want any attention.
Would you be willing to get a tooth knocked out to earn an extra $50,000? No. I've
had a lot of work done on my teeth, like root canals and stuff. I'm not about that life.
How about $100,000?
$50,000 is a lot of money, I guess. I don't know.
$100,000, you would take a punch to the face to knock.
You have to get a tooth put in. It's probably going to cost you $20,000.
Okay, so you make 80.
No, not worth it.
150, 200. Where's the everything?
I don't know, Chris. I hate these questions. What about for you?
I don't know. The way we've been spending money lately, I might do it for $10. I got to be honest with you.
Who's taking all your money?
Go down in the Rose household. I'm going to show up on Monday. I'm going to look like I've got headstones as my teeth. They're going to be all over the place.
Money's not the end all be all, Chris. Okay.
I know. That's true.
That's the dang truth.
That is the truth. And that is today's life lesson with Trevor Plouffe. All right, GMs, we're off and running. We got Naylor on the move. We got Soto on the move. Let's get some more trades this weekend so we can talk about them when we resume class on Monday. For our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer, that is the uber-talented and non-toothless Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Monday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.